All right, I got one. So when I worked at the hotel, I could wear comfy pants. I had like a work shirt, but it was in the winter, so I had a hoodie on over my work shirt. I had this big phone on my hip that it was basically like a wireless, house phone, but it had a range of like 300 feet. So I could go anywhere in the hotel and work on anything and still answer the phone if someone called. So I didn't look like an employee most of the time, okay? Hold on, just bring it in for a second. I didn't look like an employee most of the time. Now, our hotel had a gym and a little food store in the hotel, and it was on an honor system, so people stole from it all the time. But we made enough on it that they kept doing it, and the whole hotel chain does that. It's an international hotel chain. I'm not going to say which one it is, but yeah, there was a food store that I had to stock each night. Had like fridges full of like sodas and canned drinks and stuff like that, frozen meals, and then there's this there's washers and dryers in there, self-use, and
it was me in MMS stream, and the clip too. I take credit for that drama. You're welcome.
And you're fired. Thank you for the $5. Anyway, so I'm doing my rounds around the hotel, and I go into the room that is the gym / laundry room / store. And immediately I see the light is off in the exercise equipment area, and it's always on. And I'm like, that's really weird. And then, I'm thinking, and I don't just talk out loud like a cartoon character, but I'm thinking, that's really weird. And as I walk in, I see like shadows in the dark area, and I can very clearly tell there's 2 people on one of the gym equipment. It's a 1-person gym equipment. And immediately I'm just like, in my brain, I was like, I don't know what I'm seeing right now. And so I immediately make a sharp turn to the right. And again, I don't look like I work there. I make a sharp turn to the right, and I go over, and there was like a basket of apples. And I'm just like, like over-analyzing a freaking apple. Like, I wonder if I wish to purchase such an apple. And I'm in my brain, I'm just like looking at this, but in my brain, I'm like, what did I just see? And I'm like trying to break apart the shadows. And then I realize it was a guy, yeah, I know. It was a guy sitting on an exercise bike. And another shadowy shape was kneeling on the floor in front of the exercise bike. You could piece that together. And they had turned the light off. And again, I work there. I was the only employee there. It would have been, like, my company would have wanted me to be like, flip on the light. Hey, what's all this now? You take it to your rooms. Get that out of here. I'm gonna call the police if you do that in here. But being 18 and they didn't yet know I worked there and super uncomfortable, I decided I was not ready to purchase an apple, and I walked out. And then I went into the office and I was just like, I really don't want to deal with this. I really don't want to deal with this. So I looked on the security camera, because we have a security camera. I looked on there until I saw them leave, and they left moments later. Like, literally, I went in and they froze, waited till I stupidly stared at apples and walked out, and then they dipped out. So once, and you use your room key to get into the exercise room, by the way, okay? So they had to have been guests. So these were guests that had a bedroom and chose to come down to the exercise room, like they were freaks. So after they left, I went in there, I turned the light back on, and I'm like, okay, great. I spooked them. I don't have to deal with it. I'm uncomfortable right now. I don't have to deal with this. And so I go back to the desk, and voyeurism, shut up. So I go back to the, what did you find? Shut up. I go back to the desk, and then the next morning, the day shift comes in. Like, as I'm leaving the night shift, the general manager, the operations manager, and the housekeepers are all coming in. And he's like, did anything weird happen last night? I was like, yeah. And he's like, what happened? And I tell him the story, and he's just like, oh my God. And the housekeepers overhear it, and the head housekeeper is just like, she could speak Spanish and English. Like, it's We had most of the housekeepers were bilingual, and then a few of them only spoke Spanish, and then the others have to translate. The head housekeeper, who usually was, spoke English when she was talking to me or the manager, who only spoke English, she was like, "Ay, mamá," like, "Ay, mamá, estupendo," and she just went off in Spanish. She was so disgusted, and she went in there with like those gloves that Dexter's Laboratory's mom would wear that go up to the elbow, and she just started scrubbing down everything. She was just disgusted. Yeah, Dios mío. Yeah, she was just like absolutely disgusted, and I was just like, I wasn't gonna touch any of that. I wasn't touching any of that. But yeah, all right. You asked for a single story. There you freaking go.